So today I want to go over something that, surprisingly enough, I find singers when they first come to me don't always know how they fully work. And guys, that is your vocal cords, which ultimately is your instrument. So stay with me as I break down how the voice actually works and how you can use it when it comes singing. So this is something that I found very interesting, and I don't blame people. Sometimes we just take for granted understanding how the voice works, and maybe we have like a vague idea, but we don't have the full idea. And so singing too is not something that is like, hey, I can grab my guitar and it's like, there's this physical thing that we can use, or the piano, it's like there's this physical entity. So with the voice, it's kind of like, oh yeah, no, there's something there. We can already think about like Ariel, right? You can think about the voice coming out, but it's not necessarily something that we can hold, right? So I think a lot of people start to just imagine how it works rather than fully taking the time to actually understand, how does my instrument work? What is it that is making sound come out? So, and this, guys, is important because if we do not know how sound is produced and what's happening when we're singing, it can be really hard to learn to control that instrument. If I could talk. Like the keys of a piano, right? You can look at those and you can know, okay, great, how do I position my fingers or hit or put the weight of my fingers on these different keys here, right? And that kind of helps you to better control your instrument. So when it comes to the voice, what is happening, right? And again, it doesn't have to be this like, crazy thing that we can't understand. It's pretty basic, right? You have your larynx, which is here, and it is the house of your vocal cords. And your vocal cords, think about them like this, right? They're going like, they're in your voice like this, right? But I'm going to show you for the sake of, so that you can see it like this, kind of upward, but really they're like this in the throat here. So they are inside our larynx, right? And when we breathe in, they open, and you can try this stuff. Try right now. See, it's pretty cool. It's like, oh yeah, that's happening, right? So when you breathe in, they open. When you swallow, they close. And then when you're speaking or singing, as the air passes through them, it causes them to go between open and closed positions and vibrate. And that is what is helping produce sound. Now, the higher you go, they tighten. Lower you go, they loosen. And what's really, really cool is this is kind of like an automatic response, right? You've probably talked today, maybe even you sang today, right? And your body was automatically doing it. So what I always tell artists is why it's really important to understand what's happening is because our job as vocalists is to be able to alleviate all of that pressure on them so that they can do their job, right? So if you're not physically warming up your body, say by doing like shoulder rolls, right? Or massaging the neck here, and there's added pressure, it's just gonna make them harder to do their job. It doesn't mean that they're not gonna work. It just means that they're not going to smoothly transition at times. Or you might find that cracking can happen, right? Another thing too for vocal health is if you tend to be really tight in your throat and you are putting all of that added extra pressure to your vocal cords, you eventually could develop nodules. Like my dad, I know, for example, right? He talked more in his throat, and because of that, developed nodules. So there's also the element too, there's acid reflux, and that is for another day when it comes to the vocal nodules. But if you are dealing with acid reflux, definitely handle that if you're a singer, because that can eventually create those nodules and affect your voice. So that is a quick breakdown of how the voice works, right? Air passing through, the higher we go, they tighten, lower we go, they loosen. And it is our job and our responsibility, if we want to get the most out of our voices, to be able to help those beautiful vocal cords do their job. So I hope this was helpful for you all. Be sure to check out other videos of some great exercises that you can do in order to strengthen your voice and to help your vocal cords there. Drop a comment if this helped you. Let me know if there's anything you're looking to understand more of. And as always, thank you so much for watching this, and I look forward to sharing more with you.